Welcome to today's episode of Lichtmomente, Light Moments. I'm so happy to be with you here. Here with you, Silke Fuchs,
Yes.
dearest friend from Peru. Well, from Germany, but living in Peru. Such a pleasure, such an honor.
The pleasure is all mine, Martha. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, I'm having you. You're such an inspiration. I've met you in Peru 11 years ago. Imagine that.
Wow.
And you were my first and wonderful teacher from Munay Ki, the Munay Ki rites. I remember dearly, and what happened since then is such a journey. You made, I made, we made together. Beautiful journey to self-discovery, basically.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. We're shining our beautiful light, and you shine your light. And I'm so happy to hear about your beautiful work, your beautiful offerings you're doing for women mostly, for the world.
Yeah. 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 Thank you so much, Martha. Yeah. I remember also as if it was yesterday. I can't believe it's 11 years ago. Wow. Us sitting in our yard and doing the Munay Ki rites. Yeah. Which is still something I'm journeying with, and you too, which is my complete honor. I think you are the only one of my students, my former students, that is actually continuing the work as
Wow,
publicly as you do. Yeah,
wow.
that I am still uh, in touch with. So, yay.
Yay! Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's topic you want to speak about is voice-womb connection. Beautiful.
Yes.
But before we dive into that and hear more about that, let's introduce yourself, Silke, with your own words. Um, what kind of journey brought you to this point where you are today?
Oh, let's see if I can put it in a short nutshell. So yes, my name is Silke. I'm born and raised in Germany, but I knew since I was a little girl that I would go far south, um, having no idea where that would be. And basically, I left Germany at the very beginning of 2004. I moved to New Zealand first, and yeah, and moved from New Zealand to Peru, thinking I was only coming here for a holiday. But I met my now husband here, and yeah, that was almost 13 years ago. And I've been living here ever since, and I also changed my life completely from being a biological technical assistant. And now I would consider myself a midwife to your own transformation.
Beautiful. Your beautiful husband was here with me some months ago, Howard, to talk about the stages, the 12 stages of healing, I think it was.
Healing.
Yes,
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 exactly.
yes.
Yeah, that was also beautiful. Tell us more about that, being a midwife, and especially in connection with voice and womb.
Yes. Um, so first, if I can share a little bit about the midwife part. Um, there was something about, so when I basically came to Peru, I started as what we would call quote unquote therapist, so and body worker. And there was something about that energy that I didn't like, because I'm not qualified as a therapist. I don't have that background, nor is it something that I wish to do, because I truly believe in everybody's own power and everybody's own ability to change their lives. It's just something that they need a hand to hold for a while. But I truly believe that we all are where we need to be at. No one of us is broken. Nobody needs to be fixed. It's just, yeah, there's just this hand that we need to hold for a while, and I needed that too. So the term midwife came to me. So yeah, but a midwife to what? Yeah. So and it's an honor for me to be the witness of people's change when I hold their hands for a while, or when I do what I like to call the activations of the Munay Ki and the Rite of the Wound. And Martha, this is what I meant before. It's an honor to witness your transformation, especially, yeah. It's really that's so looking at you and what you continue to create in your life. It's really like, yes, this is what I'm here for. Yes,
Yes.
I want to. Yes.
Just give me a second, Silke. I'm here with you. I just need to put my power in.
Oh yeah.
I forgot that before, so sorry about that. Yes, the transformation, absolutely. And
Yes, and to witness people really to step into their power, or more of their power, more of themselves. And the more they do that, the more I do it myself. So it's reciprocity. That's the Aini, like we say here.
the Munay
Yeah.
and the Aini, right? The Munay is the
Yeah.
love, the energy of the love, and the Aini,
Reciprocity.
exactly. So beautiful, this concept. I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I continue doing the activations of the 9 rites of the Munay Ki. And while we are at that topic, I would like to reinforce what you already wrote in your newsletter, Martha, that now the rite of the womb is also part of these initiations. They are now officially called the 10 rites of the Munay Ki, and the rite of the womb used to be separate. And I would also like to share that for me personally, I will continue to keep it separate, because for me, these are two completely different energies. Yeah.
Absolutely. I just had a client here for Munay Ki today for the 9 rites and explained it to him also that the 13th, or now called 10th, is, yes, it's included, but it's such a different energy, such a different vibe. And for me, I will continue, like you said, now the 9 and then the 10th in a different setting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And also for me, it's like it used to be also called the 13th rite, and the 13th not because of the number and that there are number 11 and 12. It's to do with the cycles, the amount of cycles. We've got
Exactly.
13 cycles of the moon a year. So, and that for me has this really beautiful feminine energy, and that is something that is completely separate. And for now, I have to say, I don't know what your experience is, Martha, but for me, it is like the rite of the womb is really attracting women. I think I've been initiating or activating women, or I should say people probably, since 6 years now. And is that true?
No, it must be
2006.
longer. Must be
Wait,
longer.
longer. Oh,
8
geez.
years.
Time,
8 years.
8 years, 8 years, 8 years.
Yes.
Time flies when you're having fun. So, yes, since 8 years now. And I think I had 2 men in these 8 years that felt called to do the work. And I can't, I don't know the number on top of my head how many men I have done the activations for the 9 rites, but it was definitely more.
Yeah, I have the same experience like you just shared. I'm practicing, well, I think the activations I started in 2005, 15, 2016, so 8, 9 years, something like that. The 13th, right? And there was one man in all these years for the Rite of the Womb. It
Yeah.
really attracts women, and I understand why.
Yes.
And the others, there are more men coming to experience the 9 rites,
Yes.
the 9 activations of Munay Ki.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, well, we will continue to see what wants to unfold there, but definitely I will keep that offering separate, especially since. So I've always combined it, the initiation or the activation of the womb. I have always combined with sacred dance.
Mm.
So basically, with the opportunity for the women
Mhm.
to dance through, to move through their bodies, everything that still felt stuck or not quite resolved from the activation in the morning. So they had then the opportunity to dance through it in the afternoon. And the sacred dance, just to explain for your listeners who haven't heard of this, sacred dance is a form of the way I've learned it. There are multiple out there. I need to mention that, but the way I've learned it is it's held in a sacred space, meaning that you also set it consciously and you call in the the 7 directions, and anything else that you usually do to anchor the energy. And then it has a special theme as a focal point. So in this case, it would be the empowerment of the womb. And so I choose the music according to that theme, with the intention for the music as a guide. So I will also do a meditation in the beginning, and also a short meditation at the end to bring people out. But then encourage, because it's about empowerment, to encourage with tools that I have around that people can use, to really step into their own power, to really let go of of the pattern, the belief system, the story that they were carrying. Yeah, and to really let their body express that. So it's about a deep listening inside, and the question that you could always ask is, body, what do you need right now?
Mm.
How do you need to move to let go of this anger? How do you need to move in order to let go of the grief? And then just be still and listen. And then with the next breath, a movement would come up that you probably wouldn't have done naturally.
It's
Yeah.
powerful. It's so powerful. I participated in your Wild Woman sacred dance.
Mm-hmm.
I just loved it. It's so powerful. And
Thank you.
yeah, and you guided through with your meditation and with your introduction and the music that well, you don't compose it, but you combine the different songs that are supposed to move energy in the body. Very beautiful work. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and still with all of that, I still had the feeling there is something missing. Something is not quite there yet in its place. And I just completed a mentorship, a 6 months mentorship program called the Voice&Womb Connection. And that's when it hit me like right in the face, basically. It's like, that's it. That's it. This is something that I would like to incorporate in my trainings. And in fact, I've just come out of the first retreat that I held, introducing this concept, because also in the sacred dance, it's also about freeing your voice with your body. But I didn't have that connection, the voice and the womb connection. And now I do, and I would like to share a little bit more about that.
Yes, please do.
So, I mean, for me, it's fascinating what we are not being taught at school. So, for fun, before that retreat, I checked the internet and just Googling a womb, what would come up. And you have got this sterile description of what a womb looks like, which parts belong to it, and then which diseases it can have, and that's it. It's like, wow. That's the same training basically that I had 50, no, not quite, but 40 something years ago.
Yeah.
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 And it's about time that we change that.
It's about time.
So, yes. So, first of all, I would like to mention that, in traditional Chinese medicine, they're a little bit ahead of us. Did you actually know, Martha, that we women have an extra energy channel that connect the heart to the womb?
I did know that, and I experienced
You
it
did?
more and more. Yes.
Wow, so then you are one of the very few that do know about that. It's called the Bao Mai vessel.
Okay, I didn't
And
know
so
that.
and it actually in our menstrual years, during our menstrual Martha, are you still there?
Yes, we had a small,
Okay,
a small
okay.
break. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah, because all of a sudden you froze on my screen. So okay,
Okay.
maybe we can pick up again. So the Bauermai vessel during our menstrual cycle facilitates the blood flow from the heart to the womb. So basically the heart nourishing the womb. And when we step into our years as the wise woman, the flow is reversed. So the flow, it's basically the womb nourishing the heart.
Makes perfect sense.
It
Yes,
makes perfect sense.
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. And only we women have that vessel, the men don't.
Okay.
So, so that was one intriguing part that I wish they would teach us,
Especially
women.
since, yes, especially since there are so many doctors and also women who remove this part of their body because there are problems, there are maybe
Yes,
diseases. And I had this experience some years ago, and I was really in this position. You remember, right? I was in this
yes,
position to explain this doctor, female doctor, also that it's not just to get babies or to retrieve babies, it's an organ that is much more than that. And
yes,
it's so powerful, and I really strongly ad- advocate, that's the word, advocate for, yeah, this knowledge that you just shared, or this connection also. Yeah.
yeah. And in the shamanic tradition, our womb is a portal to, and the symbol of the portal is this, the downward facing triangle. Yeah, it's a portal through which new realities can be birthed. It's not only the physical babies, but this is what we have been entrained to believe. It's also dreams, visions, yeah,
Mhm.
literally new realities.
Mhm.
That's the power we have.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in order to, for me now, it has become really clear that in order for us to birth these new realities, we need to use our voice.
Mhm.
and the connection between the voice and the womb is actually a physical one. You know, sometimes it stares us right in the face and we still don't see the connection. Yeah, we can actually look it up that our larynx and our womb basically stem from the same tissue during embryonal development. And then they stem from it, and then they develop differently and in different sides of the body, one above, one below. Yeah? But have a look what they look like. They are twins.
Yeah.
Yeah? So here, this is our beautiful larynx and our beautiful uterus, the vocal cords and the pelvic floor. They look the same. And Martha, I will also send you, because this is an artwork by Luisa Alexandra. So I sent you the names that you can maybe acknowledge.
Yes, I will include it in the description, of course. Yes.
Acknowledge her.
Yeah.
So, but there's so it's basically they come from the same origin, yeah, and they remain connected by something that has become really popular these days. It's called the vagus nerve. Yeah, so the vagus nerve connects basically our brain to our womb. So the brain stem, to be exact, connects to the womb, and there's actually now also scientific evidence that this is truly the case, that it goes from the brain stem through all the organs. It's the longest nerve in the body. Goes into the uterus and also into the cervix, and it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which means the rest and digest response, which to me also is a feminine principle, the relaxation, the taking a pause, taking a breath, relaxing. So, and we can activate this vagus nerve and the connection between basically the brain and the womb through I always stumble across that word, diaphragmatic Zwerchfellatmung in German. Diaphragmatic breathing.
It's good you speak in German, because some might wonder, why are they talking in English? An Austrian woman and a German woman. And well, the answer is Silke is working in English-speaking contexts, and we want to go international, right? We want to include people who cannot speak German, so that's why it's easier to record it in English and to speak in English. That's the reason behind that.
Exactly. Plus, also, I learned it. I studied in English, and I actually dream and I think in English.
Yes.
And I'm married to a Canadian, so we
Absolutely.
speak English. So it's for me. I have trouble to translate the context of my work into German in a setting like this. I would actually need to sit and think about a few things.
Yeah.
But sometimes, as we have just experienced, there are words where my brain is faster than my tongue and it twists. So, and then the German word comes. So, yeah. But in English, it's called, I'm trying this again, diaphragmatic breathing.
Complicated. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, that is one thing. And the other one is humming, sounding, and chanting. So yeah, and I would like to invite you in a moment into a little practice, if you wouldn't mind.
Definitely.
To experience that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to round this up, maybe is with the energetical connection. I think some of you might have experienced, that you went to a practitioner complaining about problems in your hips, and they started working on your jaw. Yeah, some might have had that experience, and then just by working on the jaw, the pain and the problems in the hips were resolved. So that means, yes, there is also a connection between the jaw and this area and the hip and pelvic floor area. So basically one can say, if you have a tight jaw, you have a tight pelvic floor.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And so there's means and ways of physically relaxing that. Yeah, so you can massage your masseter. Yeah, so yeah, you can massage this, but the masseter is really tight, so you need to really have a little bit of pressure here, and you have to open your jaw, and you can lean on the table with your elbow, and just make sure you don't do anything in front or near your mouth, because that's not the area that you need to work on. It's more towards your ear, and then you can lean on, mouth slightly open, and you put pressure on your finger, slight pressure downwards, and you move your finger downwards towards your jawline. And do that a few times, and probably you can feel different painful spots there. So that's that's a physical release. The other one is definitely sounding and humming, which we're going to in a moment. The question is, why do we have that tension here? Why is that we are having it here and also in our womb? Why is that? And the answer to that is actually historically related. So we have been, as women especially, we have been shut up, burned on the stake for our wisdom, for speaking our truth, our knowledge, for standing in our power as with what we knew, because it wasn't wished for in these times. So we have been literally killed for what it is that we knew. And this is an ancient trauma that all of us hold, men equally, but especially we women. We hold this memory deep in the cells of our womb. And in working with the voice and freeing our voice, first of all, we have to learn how to create a safe space with that, so that we can feel safe for ourselves to be heard again and to speak up. And only once we do that, we can truly reclaim our feminine power again.
I love that. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I think, or I feel that we are on the rise, women as such.
Yes.
For the last couple of years, a lot has been happening.
Yes.
Women claim their power back, as you do, as I do, as many others do, I know. And this is just starting. I think it's gonna be bigger and bigger, and it's not gonna, in my observation, it doesn't mean that we reduce the power of man, or that we stand above men. Not at all.
No.
Not at all. It's more than both of us, men, women, claim their power and their space, their own space, and this empowers others as well to be in their own space. And then we create a beautiful field together. It's about this, it's about that. And it takes also some old work, like you said, ancient history, to clear all these fields. And this is some work we also have to do.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think what is still holding us back, and I also speak for men here, yeah, is that once we start to connect with our voice and with our womb, and for men it is the energetic womb, yeah, it is the same, yeah, their vagus nerve also goes down into their what we would call the womb space for us women, yeah, and they come from the womb, as we all know, as we all do. So they do have that connection and they do have their energetic womb. So it's the same thing. It's just that for us women, it seems to be more difficult to voice, to really use our voices. Yeah, because we naturally have also a different pitch. Yeah. And if we fly off the handle, basically, we are being called hysteric. Yeah. I mean, the word hysterectomy comes basically from that. So it has got the same roots. So, but I think what we are still afraid of is the power that we hold, the power that is truly there. Yeah. Because if you, when you start working with your womb and your voice, you will encounter resistance because
sure.
you really step into that rawness, that really the raw, uncensored, wild woman that you that you also mentioned before, yeah, or that wild raw lion power. You can name it whatever you want, but this is because it has been suppressed for so long. When it finally is being given an avenue to come out, a way to come out and to show itself, it can be super scary.
Yeah.
And because most of us are so afraid of the depth and the intensity of it that we just, oh, no, 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 I'm rather not going there. Yeah, so this is too much. This is too much. Yeah,
Yes.
because we automatically link that intensity to the misuse of power.
And the
Yeah.
intensity, sorry to interrupt here, but the intensity, in my experience, doesn't need to be like anger or sadness. It can be like the whole true colors we have,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's beautiful strength and power and joy. So you
Yes.
can have
It
all
is
kinds of emotions, and yes, yeah.
exactly exactly. But for most of us, I mean, uh, who have not yet um, done work around anger, sadness, grief. So everything that has been labeled as negative, which in my mind is also stupid because these are, so emotions mean energy in motion. So it's just energy that moves, and energy in general is neutral. That it's neither good nor bad. It is, yeah. It's just us. We have attached a label to it,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes, that's it. Hmm.
And so for me, this, yeah, like you said, and thank you for mentioning that, Martha. There is, yes, the emotions of ancestral, I would call it sacred rage, but also a passion for life that burns there, a passion for creation that burns there. It's the feminine as in her wild, chaotic form that lies there. Yeah. And by chaotic, I don't mean that in a quote unquote negative way. It is just that raw primal power that creates, yeah, and that wants to create. And it is there. And this is Mother Earth as she wants to move through us. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yes.
only if when we allow her to do that, and especially, you know, when we allow her sounds to come through us, then there is a possibility that everything will be heard. You know, when we put words to something, if we try to, you know, explain why we are passionate about something, so we speak, but that is already dissipating the energy. If there's just a sound that comes out, this is raw, authentic, and it's right here.
Yes, I
Yeah.
like that gesture you're making with your hand.
Yes.
It's really, once it's out, yes, absolutely, it can be scary, it can be frightening,
Yeah.
but it can be so liberating. And if you get the taste of this liberation and this connection
Yes.
to your own creativity and your connection with Mother Earth, that's beautiful
Yeah.
that you mentioned that. Mother Earth moving through us, then you don't want to go back. You don't want to go back into this cage woman or into this, I don't know, domesticated woman. You want
Exactly.
your force and you want to be the force of nature. Yeah.
Exactly. And you know, um, if we just express it in a sound, then it's clear. So it's there. It doesn't need explaining. It's more like this the sensory inner knowing. That nothing is needed. You know, words are more of the mind, whereas the sound is really the of the womb. Yeah, of the
Yeah.
womb. And yeah.
I agree, especially, well, if not completely, because if you do womb writing, I call it womb writing, intuitive writing from the womb,
Yeah.
there's no brain there. You really wonder afterwards what you wrote,
Yes.
what kind of
Yes.
words come out of your mouth if you speak from that space.
No, absolutely. I totally agree. I with words, I only I'm referring to, you know, explaining your feelings, you know,
Yes. Oh,
explaining your anger. Yeah. So
okay.
no,
That's a good,
definitely.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So no, there's definitely something that comes from the womb, or you speak from the womb, or yeah, from the womb of silence. Yeah. From that deep inner knowing. That's completely different. But we're so used to yeah, to needing to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes and especially when it comes to these raw this raw power, it cannot be explained. You
No.
know, it's deep, it's vast as the universe, and try to explain the universe. Yeah, you can't.
You can't, but still you gotta trust this. You gotta trust this,
Yes.
you gotta express it, because this is also where intuition comes or all this inspiration comes. And maybe it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because it's not from space. Of course it doesn't make sense. But it
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's wrong, or it doesn't mean it's not supposed to be. Just figure it
exactly.
out. Yeah, yeah.
And that's also, you know, sometimes we need to really pay attention to the words that we're using. For example, the word intuition means the tuition, the learning, the lessons that come from within. They are already in here.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And also inspiration, breathing in. Spirare means breathing. So inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Breathe
all
it in.
there. It's all there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and also it's what we keep yeah, not forgetting necessarily, but there is a third aspect that is between the voice and the womb, and you mentioned it before also. It's the heart. So, and we can always use the heart when we feel like, oh God, this is that is really intense. What's coming up here? So then we have our beautiful heart that we can involve in that expression. So the heart links these two together. And through the heart, we can find the courage to speak. So and that's the interesting part also is that the word courage also comes from the Latin cor, meaning heart. And the original meaning of courage is to speak one's mind by telling all one's heart.
Beautiful. I love that.
So
So nice, huh? We just have to listen, or we just have to look at these words and
yeah,
get the essence of it. And yeah, it's there.
yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. And also to become aware of, words are spells. Yeah. So sometimes the English language is really, and this is why I also like using it, because for me, it's in for the most part, more descriptive. It really pulls things apart when you want to look at it. It's like I just said, the word courage. Where does it come from? Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, and intuition and inspiration.
Thanks for mentioning that. I love that. I never thought of inspiration. No, intuition, yes, but inspiration and
I
courage,
see.
which I heard before as well at one point. But thanks for the reminder. Beautiful to get reminded of that things or remember. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So yeah, and to to gain access again to that connection and to really feel that and to incorporate that. And if you hear any sounds right now, these are my cats hopping on the terrace. They are right on top of me.
I
I
don't
can
hear
hear them.
anything.
No?
No.
This is amazing. No, I can hear them. They're having fun out there at the moment. Okay. Um, yeah. So, yeah, for me, this was the missing part to bring the awareness of our connection into that work, the connection between the voice and the womb, and then using that in the sacred dance to free the voice. And you don't need to have a sacred dance for it. It just sometimes, excuse me, my nose is itching. It is just sometimes easier if you have music and you are alone and nobody can hear you to use your voice
Absolutely.
during the dance. But there's also a practice where you can start to feel into that connection more deeply. And if you want to, then we could start
Yes, I'm ready. I
having
had to switch on the light.
having a
It
little.
got so dark in here. It was really like, yeah. All right, I'm ready.
All right. Okay. So just make sure you're sitting comfortably, feet on the ground, and just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths just to land with your awareness in your body. And just getting out of the mind and of our conversation and just quickly, getting in touch with our body. And just do a quick body scan for the moment to see if you notice any tension in your body. And maybe your shoulders are a little bit tense. Maybe you just want to relax them, roll them back. Or maybe you need to yawn a few times. Oh. And just become present with your breath. And I invite you now to consciously drop your jaw and just see if that relaxes your muscles. Just giving yourself permission to relax every single muscle in your face and to drop it down, 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 down. And I invite you now to drop with your awareness into the back of your eyes. To the very, very back, and see if you can allow your eyes to drop back. And with your next breath out, see if you can feel into the back of your throat. Relaxing every muscle of your throat, letting it drop down, down, down. And with your next breath, dropping down into the back of your heart. Giving yourself a moment now to feel into the spaciousness that your heart holds, into the vast depth of your heart, holding all that love and compassion. And with your next breath out, dropping even further down, down, down into your belly. And giving yourself the permission to just let your belly hang forward. How often do we hear from our outside world to tuck in your belly, to suck it in, to stand straight, to pull your navel back to your spine? No. Giving yourself permission to just letting it all hang where it wants to. No judgment. And with your next breath out, dropping a little further down into your womb space. And inviting your womb to relax into the vast depth of your being. Asking your womb to let go of any tension it may be holding. And once you feel that you are as relaxed as you can possibly be without judging what is, I invite you now with your next exhale to start humming. Hum. Hum. And as you continue to hum, just pay attention to if you can feel the vibration of your own hum. And maybe you just notice where you can feel the vibration. Maybe it is in your nose. Maybe you can feel it in your entire mouth and jaw and in the ears or in the back of your head. Continue humming and just observe with playful curiosity and without any judgment of where you can feel that vibration. And maybe it's even going down your throat, and maybe you can feel it in your chest. Just tracing it as far as you can, and be curious if you can trace it even further on your next hum. Hum. And on your next hum, I invite you to consciously direct the sound into your womb space. And just observe if with that conscious intention you can trace it all the way down there. And if not, that's totally fine. Just play with it. Hum. And I invite you also to play with the pitch. Maybe if you make your pitch even lower, maybe you can trace the vibration even deeper, better, further. Just be curious and experiment. And you can also make your pitch higher and see what that does for you. Hum. And just do this a couple more times. And after the second time, come back to stillness and just observe what you feel. If your body feels any different, can you feel an opening in your womb? Can you feel an opening in your throat? Is anything different, if at all? And just coming back to stillness. And be aware of the sensations. Would you like to share? How that was for you, Mother?
Oh yes, happy to. Happy to. It was very beautiful, and I could really feel, I can feel the difference now. More activated. The whole body is more activated. I could feel the vibration in many parts. At one point, the whole body was like a whole energetic vibration field.
Yes, beautiful.
And the connection between the voice, the humming, and the room. Yes, I could feel it going through and going deep, like it makes roots. I don't know if it's,
Yes,
it really makes roots. Yes,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes,
Grounding
yes,
and connecting. Mhm.
yes. I couldn't. Yeah, it's always difficult to do this. The humming on a Zoom call, because I couldn't hear you hum. So
Okay. I could hear
did
you.
you?
I could hear you, and I was at one point I was really concentrating, focusing on my humming.
Mhm.
I could hear you perfectly well and clear. So when you started humming, I was focusing on my own humming and didn't pay attention what kind of humming you're doing, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, what I was curious about is, did you experiment with the pitch?
Yes, I did.
And
Higher
did you
voice.
notice? Yeah.
Yes, but for me, the deeper are better. I feel more connected to the
Yes.
deeper ones. With the
Yes.
higher
Yes.
ones, the vibration was much less.
It it goes up.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Goes
Yeah.
up to here. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. And with the
Yes.
deeper ones, it goes into the full body and into the deeper parts of your body. Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So basically, this is only a very short introduction. So then the next level would be, so each chakra has got their own vowel sound.
Mm.
And to work with the vowel sounds to get a deeper connection to each of the chakras, and then to really have your whole field tuned.
Beautiful.
So that is a crucial part for me to not only have. I think the word tuned for me means that you can actually also repair what's out of alignment with that. So with these sounds, and actually that the humming is more of a soothing sound. You know, if you want to calm your nervous system, or if you want to, for example, it works for pain. If you direct it, and we have just quickly experimented with sending it consciously to the womb. So you can also direct the humming to a painful part, for example, your shoulder, or if you have got pain in your knees or in your ankles. So you can use that hum and consciously send it down to that area and see what happens. So this is, for example, something that I'm using right now also on my hip, and it's definitely lessening the pain.
And it's such a beautiful, effective self-healing
Yes.
unity. You don't need a doctor, you don't need medicine. Yeah, maybe you do if the pain is really
Yeah.
persistent, but you can do something on your own that is really calming and relaxing and helping, supporting.
Yes. And this is something really that we have forgotten about, the power of our own voice. Yeah, and it's not only about, accessing that creative potential in the sense of, getting out projects, for example, or babies, but it's also, rediscovering the healing powers of our voice. We can create entire universes just by using sound. And I think this is actually what it meant initially. In the beginning, as the Bible said, in the beginning, there was the Word, God's Word. Word is sound.
There's one observation I would like to share because for me, it's from the beginning of our conversation until now, it's very obvious. We talked a lot the last weeks, but we didn't see each other, right? We didn't see each other with
Yeah.
camera. And I observe complete different expression, and your eyes changed. They are more alive. Not that they were not alive before. There is a different there's a different note to it. And I'm pretty sure it has to do also with this mentorship or the mentoring you did and with this training of cultivating your voice and this voice-womb connection. I'm pretty sure that this is part of it, a big part of it.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much for that feedback, Martha. That actually means a lot. Because we see each other basically. I mean, not you and me, but I see myself in the mirror every day. I don't really notice the change or so. It's like, yeah. And to have that feedback from you is really, thank you, the biggest compliment and confirmation also for the potential of this work and for the validity of it. So thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I totally observed that, and I wanted to tell it to you on our broadcast because now I see you, right? And now it really is, I can feel it and I can see it. Yes, both see it and feel it.
Thank you. Yes, and it truly it's enlivening. Definitely to have that connection, and it doesn't need to be, if some of your listeners feel called to join this practice and they can't feel anything or just the resonance or the vibration up here, it doesn't matter. It's about being playful and starting to put an awareness of on the voice again and the vibration, and the rest will come. The rest will come.
It's always it should be about playfulness and enjoying yourself, experiencing, experimenting, and then the rest will follow.
Yeah.
So beautiful that you do this work that you shared.
Thank you. Yes.
You offer retreats. I think you have another one starting on Sunday or maybe Monday. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Sunday.
Beautiful.
And yeah. But this whole mentorship that I just finished last week has actually inspired me to create a program around the voice and the womb. So incorporating that a little bit more, and not overload people. So extending this into a 3-day workshop and quite possibly also in a lunar cycle workshop, because it's pretty potent, it's pretty powerful, and this needs to it needs to spread ripples.
Yes.
I really truly
I look forward to learn from you when I'm there,
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
really
can't wait to have you here.
Me neither. It's been too long.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah.
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 Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to, yeah, to this next part of my own journey.
Yeah, it feels like the right puzzle piece that was before was missing.
Yes.
It really feels like that. And it's also something that you can give to people for yourself, but also for people you work with and clients you have in groups that come. Very empowering.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I initially had this, I was a bit afraid to, because it's so deep, and also there is so much more that can still be explored to basically yeah, how to put a snippet together that people still get what this is about and have an experience like you just had in a workshop situation where I'm time limited. Yeah, so I only had a day,
That's
you know,
true,
with the
but I think like what you did with me or with us just now was brief. I don't know, maybe 10 minutes.
yeah
I don't know. I didn't watch, so I don't know. Maybe it was 5 minutes, maybe 10. But if this is maybe a half an hour, it's already very powerful. Combined with the Rite of the Womb and combined with Sacred Dance, for instance, I imagine that 3, 4 days you can do a lot. You can transform so much. So in my experience, it doesn't have to be overloaded. Sometimes less is more.
yeah
If it's just a session of 1 hour or half an hour, oh my, it's really empowering and helpful and supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. You know, the ladies, I basically did a little bit more with them than we just did right now. But they gave the feedback to me that it was pretty potent and that they could actually really feel that the impact of their own voices that it had on their own bodies. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you also, did you did you feel, or were you able to feel your jaw relaxing and the back line of your body relaxing?
Yes. Very quickly, actually.
Super,
Yeah.
super.
Yeah.
Because this is the feminine way, basically. Yeah, I mean, we are so um, trained, you know, to engage with the world from the front of our bodies. Yeah, you know, we look at each other, we try to grasp, we sometimes even lean forward to hear another person. So it's all the active forward movement, the grasping, yeah, the grasping information. And so that's the masculine part. The feminine part is to lean back. So there is so that what I did with you first, to, you know, drop the jaw, go into the back of your eyes, the back, and giving ourselves, especially as women, to let our bellies hang.
That was beautiful. I like that
It's
very much.
it's kind of like, yeah, just drop it. Yeah. So to go into that receptive mode, into the receiving, into the, you know, leaning back, and that space that is actually there. Yeah, to open ourselves up and to receive,
Mhm. Mhm.
versus engaging this way.
Yeah. I mean, I know how to do that. I have some experience with it. But I guess if it's a woman that comes to a one-on-one session or for a retreat who has not experienced this receiving part, this might need a bit more preparation. I'm pretty sure that this needs more time to really feel that, how that feels like, right? To be the receiving part and just drop it.
Yeah, and also it tells you something. I can share with you that the first time I did that exercise and I wanted to lean back, I had resistance to do that.
Mhm. Sure.
So, I mean, and that already tells you a lot about the ability or my ability to receive.
It
Yeah,
has to do a lot
it,
with control, no? To give up control, to give up anything. I don't know. Yeah, it has so many
yeah,
aspects. Yeah.
yeah. So and that was and I have done already quite a lot of work, quote unquote, around that, and that was fascinating to, for me, my own body telling me, wait a minute, wait a minute. Yes, you can lean back, but not so far, please. Yeah. So yeah,
Mm.
this is it's really interesting to see that. So yeah, we all teach what we need to learn the most ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. It's our own healing journey.
Yeah.
We go deeper and deeper and deeper. And of course, we support others with it, but it's our own journey as well.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Hmm.
Ah, yeah. Thank you so much, Martha, for this opportunity to share my newest passion,
Beautiful question.
and and I would just like to invite everyone to dare to go there. Dare find your voice. The world needs it.
Yes, nothing more to add here.
Thank you.
Thank you.